And there's a big matchup. Sammy Fisher, he's been out with that hammy for a fair while. Back in the last few weeks, and he gets Buddy Franklin.
Yeah, he looks to have him deep. I wonder when Buddy comes up and plays higher, whether it'll be the same matchup. Not so sure. Here's Jack Stephen stumbling over his own feet. They have been ultra impressive, St Kilda. In the second half of this year, Alan Richardson and his coaching staff have got them playing some inspired footy.
They have. Nick Riewoldt a little bit sore getting up there from that contest. The champ's been on fire, but he didn't like that contest. Still sore behind the plate.
That's his dodgy knee, I reckon.
Jack Stephen. Now Akers. Gee, that's a good kick. McCartan on the lead. That's a wonderful kick.
That's a perfect kick. There's Nick Riewoldt, a little bit ginger with his knee. He'll be okay. He knows how to put up with injuries, Nick. This is a perfect kick to a leading forward, because when it's down that low, there's nothing Grundy can do, Lingy. When he dives into the ball, Grundy can't spoil that.
Great to see Paddy McCartan back out there playing. He's had his concussion issues throughout this season. In good form. Kicked 5 in the VFL last week, McCartan. This is a perfect way for him to start the game.
It is indeed. Inside left goalpost here, Paddy. That is magnificent. That is absolutely perfection from Paddy McCartan.
And all his teammates get around him, Lingy, because he's been out. He's had his issues with the concussion, as you said. And they just want to see him out there. He's going to be a star. He's a beautiful mark. He knows how to time his leads, as we saw there. Big future at this club as a leading forward.
Justin Smith, the umpire there. Matthew Nichols and Craig Fleer tonight. So this is a great action. Paddy McCartan not laying back on the ball, getting through it. And this is a man that, boys, earlier in the week was bitten by a spider while sleeping, and his arms swelled up the size of a watermelon.
Are you serious?
Really?
In bed, lives with a couple of his mates in Webster and Membry, and obviously they don't do a lot of cleaning at home if you've got spiders crawling around in the bed.
Oh, no.
Like Paddy did. Redback, I don't know, funnel web, whatever it was, it went snap.
Gee, can't take a trick at the moment. Paddy McCartan, he's been knocked out in a few games and now copping a spider bite. Well, he'd be happy to get that goal under his belt.
They got control of it. One stage he may not have played, but I think the antibiotics worked in the end. And he's with us today. In amongst it, Gresham. Parker. He one of their representatives surely in the All-Australian side. McVeigh took him on. Akers. Towers. On to Jack. Little inching ball. It was good, and Richards has taken the mark. This is Xavier Richards.
Yeah, another beautiful kick to a leading forward. So good style of footy we've seen early in this game. Richards not going to take a lot of time. He's got his routine. He's going to stick to it.
Yep, very quickly and swiftly approaching the goal, and why not? So Richards gets the goal for Sydney.
Almost as though Xavier Richards then, as part of his routine, doesn't want to think about it too long. Just gets himself far enough back off the mark to give himself room and then just go for it.
Yeah, if that's your routine, Lingy, stick to it. I think any goal kicker has to stick to their routine, whatever it is. Don't chop and change depending on the situation. Do what you do, and that's what he obviously does. Works for him.
This is true Sydney Swans play from here. Hard tackling, create the turnover. A couple of quick hands and then a clever kick by Kieran Jack. Just lowered his eyes, allowed Xavier Richards to run under the footy. And he went back and slotted it nicely.
Sydney looking to accrue as many wins as they can. Top end of the ladder is up for grabs for them. Jack, smother by Stephen, partial. Spills to Hanbury. Looking for the give and go, didn't follow up the run through, got it in the end though. Got such great awareness and vision. McVeigh, around one, Riewoldt with the mid-air smother. Back to McVeigh, took him on. Alier, he's a good kick. Decides to handball. Gary Rowe on the target. Strength, did well. And Robertson used the leg to block the shot.
Yeah, did well then, Robertson. That was a goalkeeper-like reaction from him to get a touch on it, force it through for a behind. It was well played by Rowan, though.
I think St Kilda at the moment, Ling, you're as well structured and have a game plan that their players have agreed to and are following it as good as anyone in the comp almost.
Absolutely to the letter, BT. You're right. This is that effort by Robertson. Fine little save there. We saw some great saves in the Matildas game today at the Olympics. That was right up there with it. But you're right, BT. They're really well structured. They play with a frenetic pace and attitude in defence and attack. It's good to watch. It'll be exciting to be a Saints fan at the moment.
Smith at the back helped out. Now Lloyd.
It's going to be interesting tonight. Sydney really know how to suffocate a team, stop their run. Two contrasting styles. It's going to be intriguing how pans.
McVeigh long, Heaney elevates, been in good aerial touch, Heaney, but Hickey didn't get back from the mark enough. Puts his teammates under the pump here. Seb Ross will have to get rid of it quickly, he does. Robertson, game 100. Hanbury steals it. And then a slicing ball to Jack.
And this is what they do so well. They get it into their forward half of the ground. They average 58 inside 50s. And they're one of the best intercept teams in the competition. They intercept it all. Every player can intercept the footy. They all have a crack at it, and they lock it in their forward half.
15 gone.
Bit of a hush over Etihad. Jack, inside left goal post. And that's pretty good. Sydney have got their second.
So a nice intercept from Hanbury and the quick kick inboard to Jack, and that was a beautiful shot at goal. So the Swans have got their game going early. 3 inside 50s to 1. The Saints had that first one with a nice goal to McCartan, but it's been all Sydney from that point on. You've got to win the clearances against this Swans team. Get it moving forward first.
Well, this one here, this is a lesson for any young kids. Nick Riewoldt just waiting for the footy there. Dan Hanbury cutting it off beautifully, and that's that intercept that set up the goal. Goes to show even after 317 games, you can forget one of those little simple things. Always go at the ball.
Gee, Hickey, good form, isn't he? Ross, the combination clearance there. Bruce. Turned around here by Grundy. Now Hewitt. Back again, Sydney under a little bit of pressure here. This is where St Kilda have been excellent. Applying the pressure and forcing that sort of action. Gresham now. He's a very talented youngster. Out wide, and this is the man. That is a danger in terms of getting a lot of the footy. Armitage.
Yeah, just whacked it in there. That kick wasn't directed to anyone in particular. Nice intercept. Didn't get onto it beautifully, but Armitage just found himself in the right position.
Approaching his 150th game, 148th game here tonight. David Armitage. Within comfortable kicking range. That looks pretty good as well. So it's just goal for goal. 2 apiece here tonight.
Great goal there from David Armitage.
Straight back, boys. Get out of the way. My ball.
Straight back, said the umpire. Get out of the way. Get out of me way.
Straight behind.
Clear call this time from umpire Craig Fleer.
Holding Sydney.
Way out of here. Play.
Thank you.
So this will go to Nan Curvis.
Play on.
McVeigh letting possession get her on the ground. Touch number 6 for him in the opening 6 minutes. Not bad. Heaney kept it alive. Papley. Spearing ball, Montagna over the top, Towers to tidy it up, Hewitt, sneaky little handball, Nankervis to the goal square, Akers.
Isaac, another metre back, thank you.
You mentioned Jared McVeigh, BT, the leading possession on the ground with 6 disposals. The Swans love him having the ball in his hands. He's one of those beautiful kicks of the footy. They've lined up a few across half-back now, the Swans, to get their best ball users coming off half-back to try and set up their play. It's the way they really like to structure their offensive ball movement.
Yours.
A little bit of a sloppy kick there. Ross had to go and get it. Puts Riewoldt under pressure. This will be an advantage here. Weller loves to run. Nice ball. Membry cut off. Bit of help there from Cunningham was impressive.
There's that intercept play again from the Swans. They're so good at it in their back half. All their defenders are good intercept players.
Every time, and the St Kilda, they obviously move the ball quick. Swans are aware of that. They're playing man-on-man. Rather than opening up the zone where they can cut them apart, they're going man-on-man all over the ground, the Swans.
I think the Saints are almost trying to bait the Swans into going quick. They know against St Kilda that they don't want to go quick.
Yeah, they'd like to lock it down in the contest, the Swans.
And Curvis, the intended target. Hickey did well.
The Swans have been good at this ground, BT, as well. They've won their last 9 games here. They like the tighter confines of Etihad Stadium, the Sydney Swans.
As this ball's about to get thrown in, look at one of the matchups there. Tom Mitchell and Jack Stephen lining up on each other. Mitchell has done a number of those roles this year really well, where it's not a hard tag. He goes and finds the footy himself, but he certainly puts a lot of time into dangerous opposition midfielders.
Both ball magnets. Here comes McCartan, but in front, Membry. Just fell short, that footy. A lot quicker than Grundy thought it was going to fall. Well, so, Richo, you mentioned this guy's been impressive, and he has.
He's been super impressive, and he'd love to play well tonight, obviously, against his old team.
Only 6'2" in the old scale.
And that was just a good move he put on there. Flipped Grundy around, came back at the football. He's good for 3 goals a game, and he can kick a bag. He's kicked 4 bags of 5 this year. What a great return for him.
39 goals he's kicked. Tim Membry. And that's pretty straight as well. Good goal kicking here tonight. Saints have got 3 straight. Membry gets the 3rd of those St Kilda goals.
Good start by the Saints. Doing exactly what they needed to do. Moving the ball quick when they can, putting a lot of pressure on the Swans, and it is a beautiful set shot at goal from Tim Membry. He's been in really good form, as Richo and BT were just talking about. When he gets his chances, he doesn't often miss them. Very nice set shot.
Boys are going to come straight back, all right?
So he loved that. Tim Membry on fire last week against Carlton. Well, she was all over that before the game, but he's a real find. When you've got Bruce and Rewalt down there at times, and McCartan, Membry can get off the loop, I reckon. He can be the one that gets out. He's that little bit shorter. He might be the one that gets an opponent he can get hold of.
Richo, it's really similar to the Adelaide forward line, where you got your Tex Walker, Jenkins, these type of guys. There's 2 or 3 dangerous tall forwards go through, and they can get great mismatches like the Saints have got the ability to do now.
Yeah. Absolutely, Welshie.
McVeigh, what a kick. That's why. That's just sailing into what in his hands. Hanbury likewise has Buddy now. This is Buddy range. Make no mistake, the man on the mark's at 49.
If Buddy kicks this goal, we'll have a look at what Gary Rowan did to give Buddy the space to get out on that lead. He got him 5 metres there, Rowan.
Beautiful kick by Jared McVeigh, wasn't it? And then Dan Hanbury didn't hesitate, looked up, back off the mark. And how many times have we seen Buddy Franklin kick goals from this spot on this ground?
No, this is just a perfect spot for him, and that's a goal. No problems at all. Buddy Franklin makes it 3 apiece.
At the start of this game, it's been good. Both teams playing good footy, highly skilled. Lots of quality players on both sides. Always great to watch Buddy Franklin live. He lights up an entire ground, whatever ground he's playing on. Good start.
Have a look at this here. See Gary Rowan run across the path of Sam Fisher, and that's what gave Franklin 5 metres. That's unselfish. An unrewarded lead from Rowan, BT. That gives Franklin an easy chest mark and goal.
Good spotting, Richo. Back in the middle, Nankervis. Hickey just timed it better. Now Jack. Oh, he might have heard the Acres call then. Now Stephen. They've got the extra. They encourage Jack Stephen to run with the footy. Armitage says no problem. Stephen delivers a long ball. Weller has taken a mark. Impressive stuff from this revitalised Saints.
Gee, that's a smart kick by Jack Stephen. Running, bouncing. He would have been exhausted with a run like that, but then have the composure here. Instead of going long, where the Sydney defenders were all heading back to, just pulled it back. to Mav Weller's advantage. That is a perfect kick.
He made Weller go to that spot with the kick, didn't he?
That's what the best kicks do, Brian.
Yep. 30 out directly in front. He's like a bull, this guy. Weller, he threads that, so still good. 4 straight to 3-1.
What a great game we have here so far. 7 goals in half a quarter of footy, and it's goal for goal. Exciting, plenty of marks inside 50. Both forward lines look super dangerous at the moment. And Mav Weller, it's a credit to him, the work he's done from the Suns, comes down to the Saints on a rookie list, ends up on a leadership group, and he's been a great acquisition for them.
Interesting with these two teams, a lot of people would think that it's Sydney that have the more experience here, when in actual fact, when you look through them, and I know at the top end with Montagna and Rewalt and these guys, they bump those figures up, but the more experienced side here tonight is St Kilda. Out of the middle they come. Kick to Bruce. Outmanoeuvred on this occasion here, knocked down here. Little handball through traffic. Ends with Hanbury, crunched in the tackle there by Noons, and Noons reaps the benefits of an aggressive tackle.
So they've been able to find one-on-ones from this position so far, St Kilda. And they've got it again.
That one was looking and trying to get Ross to go into that space, but he didn't read it like Mills did.
Gee, he's had a great season, Callum Mills. First season, and he just reads the ball so well. That's a really good example of a mature head on young shoulders there from Mills. As that ball came in, he wasn't too concerned about where his opponent was, just read the flight of the ball and chopped it off. He's had a great first season.
And all their defenders do that, don't they? They chop it off, and that's why the Saints want to try and get it to one-on-ones. Try not to allow any intercept third man in from Sydney.
Up went Membry. It was a good kick. Akers pursued by Lloyd. Lloyd hanging on there. Akers not letting go either. So at the moment,
dragged it in.
This game has been played in St Kilda's forward half.
Hold there.
It's being played almost on St Kilda's terms too, BT. You mentioned it before that Sydney don't want to play into that fast ball movement, fast, frenetic style, because that's St Kilda's game. They wanted a bit more in a contest at the moment on St Kilda's terms.
Ross got Papley under the footy there. Now Montagna, high ball Membry, just lost touch of Rampy then. And Rampy, almost a certain half-back, All-Australian as well.
Speaking of good defenders who read the ball well.
Sydney. Hold him. Right, okay. Play on yours.
Heaney, he's very strong overhead.
Back to
He is as good a mark. This is a big call, but he's as good a mark as just about anyone in the comp, Heaney.
He's their second best mark up forward.
Yeah.
You know, you look at Buddy first as the first option. The next option is him.
He's great vertical leap, but his hands, he's a one-grab player.
I'm going to say something, may seem a little bit ridiculous here as our cameraman cops a little bit of a one, but he's, as a pure mark, he's a better mark than Buddy Franklin.
He is,
just with his hand.
Yeah, he is.
Buddy's obviously got so many more other little tricks to his game, but as far as one grab and the way he launches himself at the ball, Heaney just for a pure mark is outstanding.
Once they hit his hands, it's staying in there. He doesn't juggle it at all.
Jack Stephen. I'll tell you what I like in this St Kilda outfit too. It's like Australia in the basketball in the Olympics at the moment. When they get out there, it's 5-on-5 against the US. They run them right to the death because they're just dotting the I's and crossing the T's and understanding that if each of them does their job, they can compete against the good clubs. And they're doing that so well. Here's Parker. Hanbury working. On the run, no problems at all. This is a goal-for-goal game. Four goals apiece. 5 lead changes. And this all goes well for an attractive game of footy. Hanbury, Franklin, Richards and Jack for Sydney. Sydney by a point.
I like the different styles that Sydney can just shift into. This was just clinical, kick mark, moved it down the ground, got the one player out, and a nice finish by one of the best players in the competition, Dan Hanbury. Doesn't always have to be super fast, lots of handballs. They can shift between styles, the Sydney Swans team.
Sorry, who?
Parker.
Sydney kick. Parker.
Now that's paid by the umpire at centre half back for Sydney.
Play on.
Pulled that one off the ball. Parker, the recipient. Here's Buddy pushing and shoving with his man as well. A bit of help there in front. It was well done. Fisher's got Buddy when he's deep. There's no question about that. Now Robertson. Sure what to do. Went the bailout kick to Stephen Hill's almost tackled over the line. They keep it alive, the Saints. Impressive little play there. But now they close in. Kennedy's got Stephen in the tackle.
Fine. Took possession. Go through. Yep. Go on.
Very clear messaging there from the umpire to the players. Towers to Buddy. 2-on-1 there. Montagna coming in to try and sort things out. So St Kilda, impressive at the moment against one of the, a lot of people say, the premiership favourite. Throw in the Hawks. Weller, good give. Joy McCartan came backwards. Goes wide, finds Billings. And run out of room.
I didn't mind it from Paddy McCartan. I know what you were saying, BT, keep the momentum going, but I think what you always call for, get the ball into the best ball user's hands. I think he knew he had Jack Billings there, who is a lovely kick of the footy. Gave it off to him. Billings, however, couldn't quite live up to it and hit the target, but not a bad idea. Get it into the best kick's hands.
Minchington. McVeigh. Fisher. Come right up with Franklin then. Look at Buddy run now. Tries to run the legs off Fisher. He might have given it there. Heaney decides to go it alone to Gary Rowan. Slips through the fingers. St Kilda go back. Gilbert really good at the ground level. Sydney applying the pressure here at the moment. Robin caught. Heaney's got him. Was it a legal disposal? Now Fisher. Just a little bit of time to go sideways. And they work themselves out of a tight spot.
Missed opportunity there for the Swans. Rowan was one out inside 50, and that kick from Heaney just had too much height on it.
Gee, I reckon Buddy was running outside Heaney on his left foot too.
He had two options.
Minchington in there.
He could have nearly drawn the handball and then given it off to his left to Franklin. Easy to say that from up here. He chose the right option as well. He just missed his target, the Rowan lead inside 50.
There is the job that Sam Fisher has got tonight. Not one that many backmen would really want. Jack Hewitt just pulled the kick and then went longer. 2-on-1. Gilbert.
Push from the front.
Very clever there by Fisher, just protecting the drop of the ball. Terrible kick.
Oh, kick by Gilbert allows Franklin to jump onto this. Tackle by Ross. Saved the day. Incorrect disposal. The advantage paid, and maybe another turnover here. Naismith in amongst it. Tries to stiff arm Akers. Came back at him, and that's incorrect disposal as well. The Saints have turned into tackling machines. Hickey.
Straight behind him hard. Try him back on. Play on.
Under Noons. Long ball. Weller recovers. Rampy with the tackle. Now the numbers in Sydney's favour. Off the back is McKenzie. Right it was, in fact. Right around the corner. Snap it. Goal. Got it. He was half on the ground. Unbelievable kick from Wright. He had a tackler on his back, literally, and he was almost at ground level.
Good call, BT. What a goal. Gee, they look dangerous inside forward 50, St Kilda. Both teams do, to be fair, but this is a great game. It's quick. I reckon St Kilda like that. They want this game to be quick. They just kept going, kept it alive. The pressure was there from the Swans, and that's just a great finish around the corner. A great snap, Lingy.
Isn't it just a frenetic game at the moment, as we said? That's the way the Saints would like it. 9 goals now. We've had 6 lead changes. It's a ripper of a first quarter. Gee, I'm hoping the rest of the game keeps going like this.
We'll be worn out if it does.
Well, the Saints would like it to stay this quick, I reckon. I reckon the Swans would just like to control things a bit more.
This is up there, Ali. Richo, you're right. Kennedy. High footy it once again. Robertson here to tap down. In amongst it is Nan Curvis. Savage applying the tackle.
Right, boys.
So interesting job that Rewalt's got tonight, Lingy. I'd like you
Straight back.
to get over the top of that in defence as we take a look at the live ladder. You can see St Kilda 1 game out, so it's ultra important for them to win tonight. Sydney looking to consolidate the top 2 spot. Montagna to that man Rewalt. What do you think, Lingy?
He started on the wing, BT, and he's running almost as that defensive winger, getting back to help out. Gee, that's a good mark on the lead from Tim Membry there. But we saw Rewalt getting involved, so he's not just staying behind, he's following the play.
Bruce Grundy with the spoil. Hanbury. Big call from the umpire. Sydney going for the all-or-nothing to Dan Curvis. It's a really good switch. Decided not to keep going with it here. Now they do. Hewitt's found a little bit of space. Got some time in the middle of the ground. Here's the 2-on-1 again. Can they get across to gang up on Buddy? They do. 2-on-1, 3-on-1. Montagna at the back door to Fisher. Missed Robert with the handball. Here comes Franklin. He wanted the deliberate out of bounds. The last said, I was just trying to get out of the way of the freight train.
Yeah. The big fella was coming at him. The last 2, there's that mark from Membry, great on the lead. The last 2 times it's gone to Franklin, Montagna and Gilbert have got over to help Fisher.
Billingson, Kennedy.
Play on, it's out.
Here is, in amongst all of that, the goal kicker right.
I reckon Sam Fisher will be hoarse by the end of tonight, just screaming at his teammates, please come back and help.
He's loving the help he's getting at the moment.
Yeah, he's getting good help, but he wants that to continue,
Yeah.
as he said.
If he doesn't, it's going to be really hard for him.
A few muscles will be tightening up if they don't get back there and help.
Angle.
So Sydney's starting to get a little bit of footy now at their forward end.
Move it on. Yours, mate.
Lloyd pops it to the predictable spot. Hill didn't make any ground, and Fisher.
Clear out. Play on.
2 3/4 minutes remaining in this quarter. Montagna, Rewalt.
Keep this.
Is really wide. They keep it moving.
You.
Savage, one of their better kickers. Yeah, Bruce let up. And this is one of the things I'm noticing that St Kilda are doing tonight. They're presenting up at the footy and drawing away from the defenders. I think that's a good tactic against Sydney.
Well, they've always got a player presenting up, as you said, BT, which then creates that space, provided he can be hit up, creates that space behind him for those players really trying to get out the back. And
I think that's exactly what's happening, Lingy.
And they're doing it well. You said it right from the start. They are well drilled. They know what each player should be doing at any moment, and they're doing it.
And I mean, all clubs are well drilled, but can you be well drilled and execute? That's the thing. And then how long can you continue in the same game to execute?
Straight up now,
Well, that's what the good teams do. That's what Hawthorn have done for a long time. They execute their game plan perfectly.
Fans are loving this here tonight. Parker wrenched the arm free. David off to McVeigh. Really good kick to Heaney on the lead. Heaney looks around, sees Rowan with the speed out the back. It really worried Gilbert, but he did well to make up the ground. Kept it alive. Montagna on the rebound, spots up the kick, a kick he needed to make. Noons takes the mark. Goes wide, this one's McCartan, got to be strong overhead. Kick 5 in the VFL last week, Paddy.
High contact. Come back and take a kick.
The spider
your
bite
kick.
doesn't seem to have affected him.
And he's going to have to attack the ball hard. He's got Dane Rampy as his opponent there, and Rampy's closing speed is elite. Even though he might have thought he had 5 metres break there, Rampy was always going to close it down.
The spider might have put a bit of potion into Paddy. It might be helping him.
Whether it was a white tip, a red tip, or a funnelly, or what it was. But look at Sydney queuing up on the outside of this ball. Towers through the middle of the ground. Steps on the gas. Threads one. Gives a beautiful handball to Mitchell from 55 metres out. The Saints scurry back. Dempster.
He'd be unlucky if it was a funnel web, BT.
Yes.
None of them in Victoria.
Well, you know, the way people smuggle things around these days, you never know. And then here's Gilbert takes a juggler. Oh, there'd be some St Kilda fans sitting here tonight that would be just licking their lips. And nothing disparaging to say about Sydney at all. Just playing well, both of them.
Just a quality game of footy, and St Kilda are more than holding their own at the moment. The excitement in those St Kilda fans, BT, would not just be for this season and keeping their finals hopes alive, but for their future.
Inside 50's proof that Sydney have had the play in the last 5 or 6 minutes. at their forward end with multiple inside 50s.
But even I like this, BT. Just being able to shift into this mode. They know they're heading into quarter time. They're really happy with what they've done so far. Just a bit of tempo footy, control the ball.
Oh, it's good.
Or maybe not that one.
Memory, that's hung in the air a long time, and when the ball's in the air a long time, defenders can get there. Rowan missed it. Montagna did 360s around nobody. Then the ball was smothered. Rowan in, Siren saves them. What a cracking quarter of football served up here in the first quarter at Etihad Stadium. Stay with us. This is a hot, hot game. St Kilda, 5 straight. Sydney 4-1. Quarter time. A lot for Alan Richardson to talk about here to keep his troops all revved up, because they've played some great footy in the first quarter. And Johnny Longmire, he knows about these situations many times that he's been in them. 5-point lead for St Kilda at quarter time. Andrew Welsh is downstairs. Welshie.
Thanks, BT. Well, you have to say Dane Rampy is probably one of the best one-on-one players in the competition, probably behind Alex Rance. His ability to get up into the ground, he's only 188 centimetres, but he can play as a tall, he can play as a small. We've seen him close down a couple of these tall St Kilda forwards, pushing right up the ground. He's going to be pivotal in these last 3 quarters. He provides that run. Some concern around Tom Hickey, though, went off there at quarter time, limped down to the race and is yet to come back out. So I'll keep you updated on him, boys.
Gee, that'd be bad news for the Saints if Hickey didn't come up for the rest of this game. Just an example of the pace in it. There's Nicky Winmar there and the great Molly Meldrum. I saw Nicky down in St Kilda the other night and he was rapt to be here supporting his son. So great to see Nicky over, down from the Gold Coast actually. He's loving it, but quick and a lot of possessions here tonight. 116 to 99. I reckon the Saints want to slow it down. There's Jaron Geary, guys, who was a late withdrawal tonight.
He was a big out, Jaron Geary, but they haven't missed a beat, St Kilda. That first quarter was high-quality footy from the Saints. Nick Riewolt's been playing that role at times as a winger, drifting back and helping out. Right now he's heading forward and starting forward. He's going to play a big role as the St Kilda Footy Club are going to want to double-team that man there all night. They're going to try and get somebody back to help out Sam Fisher, make sure he can't have too big an impact. At times it'll be Riewoldt, at times it'll be Lee Montagna, Sam Gilbert. They'll all have to take their turn, make sure he's never one out.
So Bruce into the ruck for a bit of a spell there for Hickey. Who folds first in this game? That's the question.
Yours.
Sydney into their forward half. Buddy is just about every time the ball's gone near him, it's been a 2-on-1. Robertson, casual kick around the corner, did well to find Akers.
Thanks, Jared Hall.
Varied their speed, the Saints. Gone quick when they need to and slow when they need to. Here's Lloyd, the back of the pack, sends it back inside 50. Franklin in front, off hands. Stephen is there. Kennedy was with him. Akers ground level, spills to Gresham. Spirals one forward. Rampion will get hold of this. Alier there as well. Didn't use him, and now Grundy. So the go slow here. Get the feeling that Johnny Longmire would have told them this over and over again. He'll
want it to shift back onto their terms, won't he, BT? Ball in the contest. Just take that little bit of frenetic pace off the game. It was on St Kilda's terms in that first quarter.
Oh, the quick hands was exceptional. The bullet pass was good. Rui just needed to get the hands out in front then. Kennedy, maybe Montagna could have gone the longer one, but it doesn't matter now because they're going to mop up here. Stephen hurried the ball out the back. Armitage almost pinned with a tackle. It was a really impressive tackle by Papley, I think it was. And now a high ball from Savage into Membry, off hands. Weller gave it away. Akers had a ping and misses due to the resultant tackle pressure.
Yeah, good pressure there. Akers looked like he was going to be able to get clear and have a shot on goal. Gee, Hickey will be a massive out if he can't get back on the ground. It'll muck up the forward structure of St Kilda because Bruce will have to be the man to go into the ruck.
Hold, Sean. Hold.
It's a great tackle there by Gary Rowan to close that one down. Looked like it was going to be another goal for the Saints. They continue to be brave with their ball movement. You can see their intention. Get it forward quick. And then make sure if it does come back out, there's an enormous amount of defensive pressure on it, and they've done it well so far.
Move it on, play on. Yours.
It's interesting, Welshie, with Hickey because he had trouble in the warm-up and left the warm-up just a little earlier than the other players. So what do you think? Could be something to do with that?
Yeah, he did come off limping quite badly at that quarter-time break. Went straight down the race, as I said. Still is yet to come up as well, boys. So I'll certainly keep you posted if he does.
Franklin superb. Gary Rowan inside 50. Got it to the goal square. No one home. Dempster overran it. The fend off from Richards. Turnaround goal. Scores a level.
Oh, the bounce, shocking bounce for the Saints defenders there. You've got to feel for defenders when that happens. Nothing they could do about that. The old Shane Warne leg spinner bounce. And a nice goal there for Richards. That's his second, Xavier Richards. He'd be enjoying that. And it continues to be a goal-for-goal game. It's just terrific, fast-paced footy here at Etihad Stadium.
Here, Lance Franklin just setting things going again. Just little touches like that. Gary Rowan getting the ball forward, and rough bounce here led.
That's just your classic leg spinner there.
Play on, trying to kick it, play on. Nah.
Moons. Possession of the footy, shakes. Got a bit of space here. Ross. Good selection. Pounding ball by St Kilda. 2-on-1 this time against Weller. Rampy beats him back to the footy. Didn't take it out of bounds, kept it alive. McVeigh just a leer, ran past it, Rewalt, went the banana, too much on it. Too much cut on the ball.
Good test for Lear here at the moment. He's playing on Nick Rewalt and the great modern day forwards, great movement. Good test for Lear to see how his development is coming along. He's been great early parts in his career.
Yours.
Heaney, long way up the deck.
They love Lear's poise when he gets the ball too, Lingy. And
is he a good kick?
Yeah, they rate his ball use. He doesn't make mistakes with it.
It's probably been one of his biggest strengths in what I've seen early on. And the biggest surprise, I wasn't expecting him to be that composed, but each time he gets the footy, he just doesn't look flustered at all.
Beautiful handball by Kennedy to Hanbury. Hanbury finds an opportunity with Papley. Papley lets it rip, sprays it across the face. So a couple of easier opportunities presented here early in the second quarter for Sydney. I reckon Sydney, look, they wouldn't be surprised with the pressure, St Kilda, because they would have researched and done their homework, I guess, but maybe when you're actually confronted by it's different. Gee, that's a tough one for Rewalt. Over the back is Membry. Or McKenzie it was. Little opportunity here now, right, in fact it was. Get it right third time, Brian. And off the hands of Weller. There is Hickey. Welshie, what do you think?
Yeah, look, he come out of the race. He was still limping a fair bit, so he's certainly not going to be 100%. But as you can see there, he looks to be set to come back onto the ground. We'll have to watch him for the rest of the game, though.
We'll just see if there's an adjustment from the St Kilda on ballers. If Hickey can't have as big an influence in the ruck, they'll really have to make sure these quality Swans on ballers are covered and they can't get any easy exits from the stoppages.
Mills. Beautiful pick up, Hanbury. Through the middle of the ground, Lloyd. Chipping little ball. Out in front there, couldn't win it. Gary Rowan with a bit of speed, just runs away from them all. Misses.
Just at the start of this quarter, the Swans' pressure is forcing St Kilda to flip around too many handballs. About 30 possessions, St Kilda, 10 kicks. That's too far. They don't want it to be that far in favour of the handball. So I know they want to run and link and get through this Swans' pressure, but I reckon that's a bit too much.
Gee, Seb Ross doing a great job on Kennedy at the moment, isn't he, as well? Kennedy hasn't really cut loose yet.
No, we know how good... Deliberate paid there.
Yes.
We're going to need another look at that one, BT, to be...
And the natives aren't happy.
Absolutely certain. But
they are even mid-pie, prepared to voice their opinions. Lloyd's is dangerous. So the knock-away there on that occasion from McKenzie. Here's the late replacement for Geary. Bruce got blood streaming from the eyes. Surprised the umpire hasn't seen that. Jack Stephen, Hanbury, Parker. Little handball inside. Hewitt's there. Akers with the tackle. Parker. gave him a lot of time.
Still 9.
Kennedy with the flick on. Robertson ran past it. Now Papley keeps his feet. Very evasively effective. Kick to the square is good. And Naismith has taken the mark.
Well, that was just too big, too strong. The quick kick came in, and Sean Dempster there was just caught in a situation where Naismith had the front position, and then he just outsized him.
Just for his second career goal here, the big fella. Directly in front, shouldn't miss this. And he hasn't, so Sydney lead it by 7 points.
Yes, those around the corner kicks inside your forward 50, they're always going to drop short, and that's what caught Dempster out then.
We saw a few of those last night, didn't we, where just the quick kick, throw it on the boot, the forward plays in front, especially when you're as big as what he is.
He's a massive unit, isn't he? Big Naismith, 206 centimetres. They're just getting bigger and bigger, the ruckman. The old ruckman are now forwards. So Josh Bruce is going to come from the ground, and where's big Tommy Hickey? He's back out there.
He's gone back into the middle.
Yeah, so that's all right. So they got him out there. There's the live ladder with Sydney back in front, and they go to the second on the ladder, which is what they want. They want home finals at the SCG, and they'll get them if they stay there.
The win tonight, they move to the top of the ladder.
That was, yeah, no, that's the live ladder there.
Ladder,
Sorry, Bristle.
No.
I didn't...
Thank you. No, I think you did.
Did I? I don't know.
Tanya.
I was trying to help you out.
Jack. Hewitt. Towers. Lining up Parker. Hewitt took him on. Just got rid of it. Kennedy trying to escape it. Alir out the back. Sydney keep it rolling. Now the high ball, got to go back with the flight. Dangerously done, and Maverick Weller did it well.
Well done by Maverick Weller. That is a tough ball to sit under. Gee, St Kilda's pressure was good then. Sydney were able to get the kick inside forward 50, but St Kilda just not relenting with that pressure at all. I've loved the season of Mav Weller, going back and helping out defensively there. He's kicked a goal in 14 of his last 15 games, so he's dangerous when he's forward. He gives you every bit of effort he possibly can, and really helps lift some of his younger teammates.
Just need to lock the ball in at their end a little bit here, the Saints. Sydney just getting a little bit of an edge here early in the second quarter. Membry almost completing the mark, stolen by Cunningham, who just basically came off the bench. Rewalt. So this gives them a chance to hold the footy here. They line up Dempster from inside the square. A thumper! Dempster's kicked a monster goal! Against the flow, and Dempster's first goal for the year.
That feels good. As a defender, he's running back now. All his teammates getting around him, but gee, defenders love coming down and kicking long goals like that. And Sean Dempster has been a great player for both these teams. Sydney and St Kilda, great intercept defender.
.32 years old, Sean Dempster. Richo, you're not supposed to be able to launch them from inside the centre square when you're that old.
And what about the pass to him from Rui, who's 34, just wheeled around on the left, Rui?
Easy as you like.
So the old boy's getting the job done, Bristle.
Just 841 days since he kicked his last goal. So a little bit of time between drinks. High ball. St Kilda again. Canterbury, good tackle. Buddy hands. Gresham stole it. Weller bangs boot on ball, advances ball, forward 50, Akers, Alir, didn't stick the tackle, Akers snaps and pulls.
What they've got at the moment, St Kilda in that forward 50, is 6 dangerous forwards. They all look dangerous, and that means the Swans defenders have got to stay one-on-one, and they're going to get more and more chances. If you're one-on-one as a forward, that's all you're after.
You can really see a concerted effort from St Kilda to make sure that they're isolated and one-on-one.
Oh, this looks good. Ross. Akers, the benefit of being in front. Ball fell short. Not sure it was meant.
But even again there, Bristle, it was a one-on-one. There was no one chopping it off that entry. I know it was a hack kick around the corner, but it was a one-on-one and it dropped short again because it wasn't a deliberate kick.
And the Swans just love helping each other out in that defensive end, and we haven't seen it much tonight.
Big comeback if he gets this goal. Sydney started fast. Looks right, is right.
He's had a good couple of months though, Blake Acres. I like the fact he can go forward, be dangerous, but also push into the midfield as that bigger-bodied type midfield, 190 centimetres. It's been good.
Well, their forwards, I think the thing about St Kilda is their forwards can all win the footy. All win their own ball.
It's your throw, mate.
I say bigger midfielder at 190 centimetres. That's not the case anymore, Richo.
What about the Bont last night? Just another clinic from the Bont.
Patrick Cripps is 194, 95. They're just getting bigger and bigger, as you say, across the whole ground.
Noons. Nankervis piling in. Mitchell, fast hands. So good. Sydney, the quick hands there under pressure. Buddy Franklin running onto his favoured left side. In he comes, slamming ball, 2-on-1 down there. Can the Saints get across and help on Richards? A little bit of a fumble from Xavier. Out the back door is the replacement here of McKenzie. Good kick. Finds Membry. So Membry, that is a good kick and a great lead from Acres. He reels and goes. And now the long ball to the one-on-one. It's McCartan. McCartan is marking a one-on-one to advantage.
And BT, that is exactly what Richo was just talking about. St Kilda isolating their forwards so they can work one-on-one.
It was that lead there. It was that lead there from Acres that dragged up Rampy, who wants to intercept. And that gives McCartan a chance, and he's a massive unit. If he's one-on-one and it's half a centimetre to his advantage, he's going to mark it.
Inside left goal post. I'm told the spider was the daddy long legs, and it's all clear. So that's the good news.
Daddy long legs.
McCartan comes in, goals. 2 goals apiece in the second quarter. The daddy long legs boy.
I'm not sure the daddy long legs can do much damage, Brian, but Paddy McCartan can. He is a big unit. And he's going to be a star for this team if he can stay out there. He's had his issues, we know that. But he looks super dangerous tonight. And the Saints, they want to keep their season alive.
So McCartan kicks a really cool goal. He knew it was right off the boot. Gee, they're kicking well from the set shot tonight. And just under the left arm there, you can just see where the daddy long legs attacked him. Crawled into his bed. Hanbury, 2 goals apiece. Great game of footy. Saints now by 7, so they have responded in a big way to this fast second quarter start by Sydney.
They can't pierce the skin, though, the daddy long legs.
Mitchell, Hanbury, short little ball, buddy. Now, tricky kick for Franklin here. We know this is the left to right slider, but with his left boot, he likes to hang it out left.
He does, Buddy Franklin, but if anyone can kick it, he can kick it. It was a nice pass from Dan Hanbury under pressure. Again, just lowered the eyes, brought Buddy to the ball, and he's dropped a little bit behind Josh Kennedy. So he'll want a few tonight to just get back up that Coleman medal ladder board.
That's how easy it is when you're as good as Buddy Franklin. He's excited.
The good game of footy continues. Both teams scoring well. The first quarter, there were plenty of goals, and it's continuing here in the second quarter. Fast ball movement, good ball use, and I love the pressure of both the teams. They're throwing their bodies in there, but then the opposition is still able to execute good skills under enormous pressure. This is the perfect type of finals footy. Saints want to be there.
And here's the beautiful set shot of Buddy. He liked it. So 5-1 and 5 straight for the teams tonight on the set shots at goals. So it's just a beautiful night for footy. Obviously here at Etihad, and they're making the most of it, these two teams.
Oh, the roof's closed, Richo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's beautiful.
There's McCartan again. Oh. Gee, Mills, without regard for his body.
it's generally going to be pretty nice when the roof's on, Brian.
Most houses, I would say, have a roof, Richo, and it's a pretty good night in most of them.
Oh, well, I see inaccurate kicking here at times, so
Hanbury.
These boys have got it right tonight.
Moved on. High on.
Half back.
Yours.
High footy. Here comes Rowan. Gee. Was that Akers that stood in front of that and absorbed the pack? It was.
Gee, Rowan saw from that contest as well.
Well, he got a bit of a knock last week from memory as well. Came off, Rich. I think it was pretty late in the game.
Play on.
Rewalt. Knock. Stephen. The line out of bounds. So just seeing Hickey at the moment. Got a bit of a limp, but looks like he's competing okay and doing his job.
And he's certainly been a difference since he's come back on. The Swans got on top early in this quarter, but he's at least even up the clearances and getting his players first use.
Play on.
Parker.
Play on.
Ross still on Kennedy. You can just see him skirting the pack there, and he's doing an outstanding job.
Deliberate.
That's a deliberate ball,
there,
and this means Armitage has got the free.
Yeah, Kennedy's had the 13 touches, but Ross is up to 12 possessions himself. And
Yours, mate, yours.
again, I love that. If you're going to do the job on a play, you've still got to be able to find the footy yourself. Can't be totally negative. Seb Ross has had a good year this year.
Yeah.
He's been really important for the Saints.
Yep, he has, Ross. Played all 20 games this year. Lingy, Seb Ross. Here's Gilbert. Minchington. Fast hands. Mitchell. Goes back and gets it. Wrapped up in the Montagna tackle. He appeals. Umpire Matty Nichols, very experienced.
Just going to get Welchie to keep an eye on that. I reckon Tommy Mitchell might have gone to Montagna to stop his run and carry from half back.
Play on.
Franklin. Mitchell, the man you speak of. Long driving ball, good position here. Richards, Dempster did well. Support from Savage, went to ground, dragged the ball in, needs to get rid of it. Hewitt to Papley, Papley with a snap, got it. Sydney have got their fourth of the quarter.
Great work in the Sydney forward 50, just kept at it, kept the ball alive. And they've just had a little period here of a couple of minutes where they're just starting to win a few contests, the Sydney Swans. The Saints have been terrific. The scoreboard's fine. You just get a feeling the Swans just amped it up a little bit.
Let's get set up, guys. Knock out.
Richo, I just wonder here with the St Kilda defenders, if there's still that doubt, can they rush the ball through? Scared of maybe being delivered out of bounds, but also just punching it straight over the goal line.
Yeah, I think there definitely is, Slingy. I think players are not 100% sure, and that little bit of doubt there can create moments like that.
Oh, the threat of the deliberate made him keep it in there, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I think you're right, BT.
So here we go again. Doing well here, Sydney. 4 goals in this second quarter. 2. They led to 2 goals, St Kilda.
Thanks, guys.
Sign of the crowd right to the back row in the top deck there, as you can see. St Kilda home game. Kennedy. McVeigh to Heaney. Heaney to Papley. Didn't have the clean hands. It was coming quite promptly at him. Parker went back on his right boot. High ball. Mitchell held off. Montagna. In they go. Underneath. Gilbert, one of the 3. Mitchell said to the umpire, he's sitting on the ball. Umpire says, get it out. He does. Now Rowan through the traffic. Pressure enormous here. Saints can't afford to let this go. They're pushing. They're bullocking. They're finding their way out of this, Sydney.
Pushing it back. St Kilda.
Gilbert's ball.
Gee, they're sustaining it.
Should have been 50. Did not throw the ball back. He threw it at the feet of the umpire. Umpire wasn't looking.
Lucky one there for the Swans, but gee, they're sustaining it well, St Kilda. I thought they might have dropped off a little bit. They just keep being able to bring the heat. What a grab that is from Tom Hickey. Great hands. Brave mark.
That was impressive. On to the boy from the Great Ocean Road and Stephen, a high 40. Bruce is there, Membry's there, their big guns are there. Off hands, Mills. Did well to get rid of the ball so quickly. Now Kennedy, will they go on the counter or will they stop?
Thanks, Jack.
Kennedy says no, we'll draw breath.
Play on. Play on. Come on.
Smith.
Hold.
Nick Smith, game 161. Does it without any fuss.
Play on.
Cunningham backwards with Mills, one of their young guns.
On again.
Mills to Grundy.
Play on. Yours.
Grundy, risky kick. Savage the spoil. Ross overran it. McVeigh was cool. Cunningham got rid of it. Now Hewitt forward. Little left footer out wide to Hanbury. Hanbury on the half hop. Did well. Turned it inside out. High ball. Here comes Buddy. 4 deep he was. Off hands it comes. Gilbert impressive. Found Akers. The counter attack is on. Akers wondering where to kick it. Paddy McCartan. Sliding mark. Sensational stuff. And they keep moving the ball forward. And here's Bruce. From one end to the other, the Saints with monotonous ease.
And that's just great to see from McCartan. He had to provide that get-out kick for the half-back line there. I think it was Akers, was it, coming off half-back? He had to provide that long lead. Here it is here.
And the degree of difficulty on that mark is high. That's tough to take. And then just wheeled and went straight away to Josh Bruce.
For the 10th lead change of the game. Bruce from 50 to the near side. No go.
BT, you speak of the lead changes. The 7 points has been the largest margin so far in this game with 15 goals kicked. You think it's a shootout, but it's just a great game of footy. We're seeing big context. We're seeing great transitions of play, great goal kicking. It's just a perfect game for footy.
You're right in the action there too, Welshie. You're feeling it as well as seeing it. Off hands, Armitage, Hickey out the back door to Montagna. Great tactical battle as well between the coaches and the setups they're trying to manipulate here. Both incredibly smart. Got players that can carry it out. Now on the move they go. Towers with an inside 50, short ball, Buddy. Robinson was there, push. Didn't get behind the mark there, Dylan Robinson.
Bring it back.
Let's have a look. There's the hands in the back.
Thank you.
Good call from the umpire.
He's had a good year, Dylan Robinson. I reckon he's been pretty underrated in what he's done this year. Big job.
Game 100 tonight for Dylan.
Throw, St Kilda. Advantage.
Played. Here's Ross. Out wide. Montagna haven't you used the small body against the big body? Nankervis, one out. Weller's there though. He's a raging ball. Got it on to Montagna. The stiff arm was impressive. I love watching Weller play. Montagna. Poor kick. Under pressure.
Joey Montagna up to 18 disposals in this first half. You mentioned Tom Mitchell. Early on he looked like he was on Jack Stephen, but he's moved to Joey Montagna to just try and quell that run. And
he was there for a while. I'm not sure if it was just a normal match-up at half-back and half-forward, but we know Mitchell has played those roles.
Good body move there by Hanbury, but couldn't reel in the mark, Jack, to tidy up the work here. Papley, deliberate little handball along the ground out there to Hanbury, now on to Jack. Jack, a chiseling ball, found the speedy Rowan. Gee, I reckon he marked it, umpire, not sure it hit the deck. Little unlucky there, got the kick away. Now McVeigh's got it all to do. Armitage closing, couldn't tackle, didn't pick up the ball. Beautiful spinning pirouette out there by Mitchell. Put it into the hot zone. Rewaltz full stretch. Took the risk on the bounce. Gobbled it up. And St Kilda momentarily out of trouble. And look at the limp on Hickey.
he saw, BT, you're right. John Longmire doesn't like what he sees. There's Tom Hickey limping back to the ruck contest. It's going to be brave if he can play out the rest of this game. He's so important to the Saints. How good was Nick Rewalt then? Those hands to attack the footy. And third man up then again, he's doing it all.
He's done that a little bit since Hickey got sore, Rewalt. He's given him a chop out the third man up.
Alier, McCartan. Big job Alier on that man there. And they're a fanatical mob, the Saints. Supporters. Got a couple in the box here, Lingy. Really should go out there and sit in the terraces.
Play on.
Stephen. Under Hanbury pressure. Heaney. Parker, the little chiseler, found Mitchell. Mitchell turned. Buddy was on, but didn't feel he could make the kick, Mitchell, so he just drifts it and finds Kennedy. Kennedy goes for a low bullet. Papley. Richards. Papley again. Savage will have to spit it out. He does now. Fisher to Rewalt. Rewalt looking to go down the line. Drawing handball to Montagna. Montagna cornered. Corralled. Gives it back to Rewalt. High ball. McCartan did well. What a contest that was from Paddy McCartan, outnumbered.
We've been raving about him all night, and we love his ability to mark the footy, kick the goals, but sometimes as a key forward, Richo, you know this so well, you just have to do that. The ball's just got to come to ground, got to make a contest. That was quality from Paddy McCartan.
Gee, a few other young big forwards in the comp, if they could play with that sort of intensity and passion that McCartan brings. I know every player hasn't got everything, but
I think he genuinely likes hitting bodies, Paddy McCartan.
Yeah, I think he does too.
He's got a big rig on him, hasn't he? He's a massive unit, so he's going to hurt some defenders if they want to get in front of him too often.
Soccer off the ground. Noons. Bruce was there at the back. Lurking Membry. Put his body in front. Well done, Smith. To Alir. McVeigh, do they go or not with 30 seconds on the clock? They find Mitchell in the middle. If he can turn him inside out here, Mitchell. He does with a handball to Kennedy. Ross closing. Escape the tackle. Out wide. Time and space here for Parker. 55 metres out. Buddy Franklin closing. And look at the post wobble there. From a Buddy hit. Look at it.
Still going.
It's shaking out of its foundation.
Thanks, Tom.
Still going. He's a big man, Buddy.
It didn't hurt Bud. Bud's sweet.
Play on. Yours.
5 point Sydney lead. Incredible half of footy. Mark paid. Siren sounds. And will Alir go for the torpedo here?
Take kick.
Jared McVeigh says she'll have a go, mate.
You can have a kick.
Don't know whether he's ever kicked a torpedo. He has a bit of a giggle. And he says, oh. And Jared McVeigh's insisting that he go for it.
Why not? Who knows? I don't know how big a kick he is.
Now he's setting up for the torpedo. He's got it a little... And he really made a meal of that. But nevertheless, you never know unless you have a go. And at half-time, Lingy, Sydney have been ultra impressive.
They've been fantastic, BT, you're right. Sets up a big second half. 5 points the difference at Etihad Stadium. We have got a ripper here.